Hi, welcome to Creation Station. I'm Miss Jen, and today I'm going to be showing you how you can make your very own hand drum that looks like this. And when it's all done, just turn it back and forth like this, just like this. All right, so if you picked up a kit from the library, I'm going to walk you through what is in that kit. You're going to start with the instructions. You'll have wax paper that's going to have several strips of masking tape on the top and then other strips of washi tape. And I'll walk you through which one you're going to need at what point. You're also going to have a long triangle cardboard that's made from a cereal box and 2 cardboard circles. If you didn't get a chance to pick up a kit and you want to make your own, the cardboard circles are about 3.5 inches across, and then the rectangle strip is 2 inches by 11 3/4 inch if you want to make your own for that. You're also going to have some yarn, and there's going to be 8 beads in your bag as well, and a wooden skewer, which I have over here. All right, and the wooden skewer like this. The supplies that you're going to need from home are some scissors and then some sort of liquid glue. You could use regular school glue or tacky glue if you have that. Hot glue would be the best option, but if you don't have that, a liquid glue is going to work just as well. Okay, so we are going to switch views now so you can see my hands as I'm making this. Okay, so to start, you're going to take the long rectangle and you're going to wrap it into a tube like this so it forms a circle. It's okay if it's going to overlap a little bit. The important thing is you want to make sure that it's going to fit around one of the cardboard circles. Once you have the right size, you're going to take any one of the longer strips of masking tape. Keep in mind that whichever one you pick is not going to be seen on your final project. Oh, I'm just kidding. You don't want to take one of the big ones. You want to take the smallest piece of masking tape. All right. All right, this is working great. Okay, so you're going to just wrap this around to seal it. It's okay if it overlaps a little bit. Oh my goodness. And this is not going to be seen in your in the final thing either. I would recommend making sure that you have the printed part of the box facing inside the tube, because some of the masking tape and washi tape, you might be able to see through it. All right, so once you have this done, now you're going to take a piece and you're going to roll it down the center of your tube, just like this. Now, if you saw in the rectangle, there were 3 holes punched. So now what you're going to do is you're going to find where those holes are and use that skewer to just poke right through them. And then go ahead and just wiggle it around to make sure that you can fit through. The middle hole is going to be for the skewer, which will be the handle. And then the 2 sides holes will be where the yarn is going to come through. Okay, so now that you have those holes punched, you're going to take your skewer and use it to help poke the yarn through the 2 side holes. And you'll pull it like this. We're going to take the beads and thread 4 beads on each side. You might need to use the skewer to help get the yarn through if the end of the yarn has gotten a little frayed. It doesn't matter what order you put the beads in. The yarn does fray a little bit the more you use it, so that skewer will come in handy. And if it gets really, really frayed and doesn't work, go ahead and just take your scissors and clip it so you're starting new. Here I got 4 beads on one side. Now we're going to do the same on the other side. You can put them in any pattern you want. I like it when they have the same pattern of beads on each side. I'm going to use a skewer to help me with this one. Okay, so you see here's the bottom hole here, and then we've got the beads coming out on each side. So now you're going to take the skewer and put it in with the pointed side first, and pointing it in the middle. And then just however you can, wrap the yarn around it a couple times. This is going to help keep the skewer stabilized once we put the glue in it. Now we need to tie the end of the beads, and this is kind of tricky. What you're going to need to make sure you do is tie a knot at the end of the string as close to the drum as possible. Okay, I'm having a hard time figuring this out. There we go. Because the hole is a little bit bigger than what a knot would be, you're going to have to tie a couple of them to make it nice and a big knot. Okay, once you got the one done, you'll come to the other side. You want to pull it a little bit tight to keep that yarn or the skewer right in the middle there. The masking tape that you put around is also going to hold it in place at the end. So if you don't get it fully done, that's okay. All right, so we have that done. You're going to want to make sure that the beads, when you fold it over, are going to meet at least at the middle of the drum. And then you're going to tie a knot right at that point. And again, this is going to be, you'll have to tie a couple knots to make sure that the knot is big enough so the beads don't fly through. So here we have the knot closest to the drum, the 4 beads, and then the knot at the end. And then we'll repeat the same process on the other side. All right. So now we're going to take our glue and we're going to add glue where the skewer is coming in to the inside of the drum. And then we'll pull the thing to hold. So you want to make sure that that is going to be held fairly steady as we're going. Now we can set this piece aside. We're going to pull out your 2 cardboard circles. And this is where you're going to use the washi tape. You can use these in any pattern that you want. There is enough on your thing to do the same pattern on each side if you want to, or you can do it whatever colors you want. So you'll just take a strip off and just start putting them on. For the first one, you want to make sure that it overlaps just a little bit. And as you put them on, you want to overlap them a little bit as well. This, again, you want to make sure that the brown side of the cardboard circle is face up because you'll be able to see through some of the pieces of washi tape. So as you can see, it's plenty of tape to extend along each side. Okay, so I still have extra pieces because I didn't overlap very much. If you overlap a lot, you might need to use that extra set. All right, so now we're going to set this one aside and do the same with the other one. The nice thing about the washi tape is that if you put it down and you don't like how you have it done, you can lift it up and replace it without ripping the tape or the piece of cardboard. Okay, so now we have 2 circles with the washi tape on each side. You're going to take one of them and put it with the washi tape face down. Try to straighten out the edges as much as you can. And you're going to take your drum and set it right in the middle. And then you'll take the washi tape and just fold it up on the edges. Just be careful of where the yarn is coming out so you don't get that mixed up in there. The masking tape is going to go around the outsides, so that's going to cover up the washi tape that's you're folding up. So you don't have to do it perfectly. Okay, so now we have the side covered like this. Now it's time to put the top on. And this, again, you want to line up the cardboard circle as much as you can. And then just fold the washi tape over to hold it down. Some of the washi tape doesn't stick really well on the edges. Don't worry about that because, again, like I said, we're going to be putting that masking tape around the edges, and that's going to help secure it better, as long as it's nice and straight on the cardboard circle. Okay, so now we have both sides are filled. And now it's time we're going to take one of the pieces of the masking tape and we're going to wrap it around the top side. So it's going to go over where the skewer is. Try to make it as close to the edge as possible. And if you need to start tucking in some of that washi tape, go ahead and do that. And then be careful of where that yarn is so you don't get that tucked in there too much. All right, now let's take the other piece. So here's a hint, take it off nice and slowly from the wax paper so it doesn't rip. I think we'll still be able to put it on there. And you're going to do the same thing. Wrap it on the other side of the stick. So as you can see, I have a little bit of a gap here. Since I have some of the extra washi tape, I could go ahead and put some of that to cover up that extra stuff if I wanted to. Now you might want to add some more glue around the bottom where the skewer comes in, just to give it a little bit more stability. If you have leftover washi tape, you could also take that and wrap it around the stick like I did with this one right here. This one has some washi tape going down the side. Otherwise, you can just leave it plain like this one right here. So there you have it, your very own hand drum. I would suggest going ahead and snipping the edges of the yarn so you don't have too much dangling at the end of the beads. You'll want to wait until that glue dries enough because it's pretty wiggly right now. Once it's dry, it'll be nice and stable. So I'll get this one and show you again. All you have to do is put it in your palms and move your hands back and forth like your hands are really, really cold and you're trying to warm them up. And there you go, your very own hand drum. Thank you for joining me today.